At this time, I would like to ask everyone to stand. And I would like for you to remain standing throughout the Pledge of Allegiance and throughout the national anthem. Let us say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Well, good morning and welcome. I'm Tony Hopkins. I'm the Senior Manager of Post Office Operations with the Kentucky Districts for the United States Postal Service. We're so proud to be here today to salute our country's Korean War veterans. But before we begin, I'd like to thank a group of people. The Greenup County Marine Corps Junior ROTC for presenting the colors. Workland Mayor Donna Hayes for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And the Workland Middle School Choir for its rendition of the national anthem. I'd also like to recognize some special guests, or I should say some very honored special guests who are here. Medal of Honor recipient Ernest West and his family. Ramona McConnell, Alan Reed, Greenup County Judge Greenup County District Judge Brian McLeod, J.R. Reed, Representative for Congressman Thomas Massey, Greenup County Tourism Director Bobby Allen, Captain James Stevens of the Kentucky State Police, Greenup County Clerk Pat Heineman, State Representative Tanya Pullen, Greenup County Sheriff Keith Cooper, the Marine Corps League Rainbow Detachment, Superintendent Hensley from the Greenup County Schools, Lori and Jenny Grizzle, former state American Vet Commander, and Bobby Reynolds, State Chairman, Joint Executive Counselor for the Veterans Organization, and County Commissioner Tony Cole. We are here today to remember a war and those who fought so valiantly. The Korean War was not long, but it claimed by some counts the lives of 2 million people. It's very fitting that we gathered in Greenup County, Kentucky, where not one, but 2 Korean War Medal of Honor recipients are from. We thank them so much. The Medal of Honor, our nation's most prestigious military decoration, is awarded by the President of the United States to members who distinguish themselves conspicuously by gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of life above and beyond the call of duty, while engaged in action against the enemy of the United States. We'd like now to show a video highlighting Mr. West. This is such a heartfelt video that it is certain to make you proud to be American.
You become of age, and you got drafted, you had to go because you're due. I figure at about 8 years old, my parents passed away and they sent me out to Versailles, Kentucky to a Methodist home. And it was an experience and a half with 125 brothers. We had caused them a problem, but we didn't take no bull. That's school anyway. You jumped on one, you had to quit about 25 of us. He was a cause of brotherhood. We treated each other a lot with respect. I was drafted in the year 1950, and I was taught that when you become of age, you got drafted, you had to go because you're due. I didn't even know where the heck career was. Didn't even know he was in a war until, start reading the paper about it.
Just 1 week after completing basic training, Private First Class Ernest West found himself in action on the front lines of Korea. The training prepared his body for the difficult battles ahead, but it was his heart's dedication to brotherhood that would bring him through those battles and back home again, not just a soldier, but a hero.
We were up on the harbor Ridge. George Jevon was our commanding officer. George come up to us and he said, I need 3 squads to go out tonight. Well, we all liked George, and he was a West Pointer. He said, we'll go. So 3 squads of us went. And he told us, we're going to try to get some prisoners. And we had a bunker spotted. We'd been watching it for 2 or 3 days. He wanted me to be the point man, and I said, fine, I don't care. So I took the point. We was standing there looking at the bunker as we got out there. And I said, looks all quiet. Why is the church mouse, George? He said, now, he said, it ain't no church out here. So I said, well, he said, okay. He said, see anything? I said, no. I said, let's go. So we started up the hill, and all hell broke loose. They started rolling grenades down the hill between us. And I was on the point, and they was rolling right on through my legs, right on back. It was getting the guys in behind me. And one exploded in front of me and knocked me down for a few minutes. And when I came to, I jumped up and started looking. Here they come up over the hill at us. It's frightening because they look like 1 million people come running at you. And it was, lo and behold, you just sit there and fire and you can't shoot no more. I got to look around. George was hurt, Byron was hurt, Daly was hurt, another boy in Kansas was hurt. So I told everybody else to withdraw. And I got them to go back. And I started carrying him out of Georgia. I just picked him up, threw him over the shoulder, and took off. I got in a firefight with George on the shoulder. I had 2 carbines, I had one in each hand, firing. And they started firing at me, so I dropped George on the ground, laid on top of him. And then I just got up and killed the guys that come after us. And I picked George up and we come on back out. I counted and said, and we had 3 more missing. I told everybody to hold their position. I said, I'll be back. We all were going back home. So I went back up and I carried him back to safety.
West rushed back into the heart of battle 3 more times to rescue his remaining comrades, 1 man at a time. He faced brutal resistance from the enemy, and against all odds, succeeded in saving every one of his fallen brothers.
We just loaded everybody up to take them back to the first aid station. One of the guys said, "You're next." And I said, "Well, hell, ain't nothing wrong with me." I said, "Yeah, they are. You're bleeding." I had shrapnel in my eye. I was burned. I was shot. And to be honest with you, I didn't know none of it was happening. I didn't think I could get it, I guess.
After his recovery, West returned home to Kentucky, where he learned he would receive the Medal of Honor.
I went to the post office to get the mail one day, and they had a telegram on it. It said, "You are to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor." It's been a great honor for me to wear the medal. But to start with, I'll tell you this, I turned it down. I wasn't going to go get it. I thought everybody would. I felt if anybody went to service was all equal. I did not consider myself evil. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I'd say it's because of brotherhood. We all got back. We didn't leave nobody. I was raised that way. I always figured that someone would come to get me, that would happen. I got that. One of ours would come and got me. And the squad is 8 of us. And we all agreed that we went on the island, any patrol, everybody would come back one way or the other. I think that today, in this day and time, if we would think of brothers and sisters, that we'd have a better society to live in. We need to be good. Treat people like you'd like to be treated. We're all the same. We might have a little different accent, but we're all the same. We're Americans.
In the time that I've been the state representative honored to represent this community, one of the things I wanted to accomplish was to call attention to the tremendous military heritage and legacy that we have in this county and in our community. Not so much so outsiders would recognize that in us, although that's nice too that they're beginning to do that, but because we ourselves so often took for granted the tremendous tradition and legacy that we have here. I think we thought, maybe still think, this is normal. It's not. This is special. We, as a community, when the call is given, answer the call. And in huge numbers, come back home and live humbly. Because we're no longer near a military base or installation, the numbers of veterans who reside in this county and the surrounding area is remarkable. When we recently applied to the VA, we had a higher number of veterans, 77,000, in this immediate community than anybody else in the nation applying for that year, even though many of those were bigger cities, bigger towns. There's something special about the tradition of military service here. We also hold another very special distinction. This county is the home of 2 Medal of Honor recipients of the Army from the same war. As far as I can tell, we're the only county in the nation with that distinction. Not Manhattan, not Orange County, California, not any other county you can think of. This county. It is something very special about us that I have feared that through the years we may have taken for granted. It's a big deal. And in the last few years, as I hope you've all started to appreciate this precious thing more, new signs were put up on the Collier West Memorial Highway. And a beautiful memorial is built in the Kentucky Veterans Cemetery Northeast. And if you haven't been to see that memorial, which is about 11 foot high, black granite, with the citation of each of our local medal recipients on each side, and life-size statues there, you should leave this place and go directly there. And if you want to hear a good story from Ernie, ask him about when they came and put the plaster over his head and had to put through a straw to get his life-size statue made to look like him. We are truly honored as a community to be the home of these two Medal of Honor recipients. You saw something of what Ernie did to earn the medal. I'm just going to fill in a few other things. Ernie was badly hurt. He spent about as much time in the hospital recovering as he spent in Korea. He came home and insisted on going back to work. You know Ernie, and you know he would. Went to work at the railroad as soon as he could. Pushed to be able to do that. And he married the love of his life, Jane, on national television. He received a medal from the World War II General Supreme Allied Commander, then President Eisenhower, who put the medal around his neck because the Medal of Honor is the only medal given by the United States military that may be worn around the neck because it is the highest honor and the medal of the highest prestige. But here's what I'm also proud about Ernie. In the years that he's lived here since receiving that medal, he has been exemplary in being our community treasurer. You ask him to go to an event that will help veterans or honor other veterans, Ernie's there. Or if you ask him to go to a classroom with 15 elementary students, he's there. Many of you don't know this. He has also mentored young veterans who come back from the more recent conflicts and help them. He also speaks regularly about John Collier. I wonder if we would have known as much about John Collier if it had not been for Ernie West. And all of this he does without asking for remuneration. And I mention that because not all Medal of Honor recipients have lived like that. But he has lived here as a treasure in our community. There are only 9 living recipients of the Medal of Honor from the Korean War in this whole country from sea to shining sea. Only 9. So we have in our community, my dear friend, who is a community treasure, but is also a national treasure. So I give to you today Medal of Honor recipient and community treasure, Ernie West.
Thank you all. It's a great honor for me to be here today to represent John Collier, who did not make it back. But it's a great honor for me to be here to represent the Medal of Honor Society. I don't wear this because I like it. I probably never would wear it. But I wear it because of the men we lost and left behind. I'm not going to say very much, but I appreciate you all coming today, and I thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Terry Thomas, Postmaster of Greenland Post Office. It has been my pleasure to help put this presentation on. I first want to speak about John Collier. John Collier was born April 3rd, 1929 in Worthington, Kentucky. He was a soldier in the United States Army during the Korean War. On September 19, 1950, sadly, Mr. Collier was killed in action while serving our country. He was 21 years old. On June 24, 1951, he posthumously received the Medal of Honor for his actions. I would like to read to you his citation. Corporal Collier, Company C, distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty in action. While engaged in assault on a strategic ridge strongly defended by a fanatical enemy, the leading elements of his company encountered intense automatic weapons and grenade fire. Corporal Collier and 3 comrades volunteered and moved forward to neutralize an enemy machine gun position, which was hampering the company's advance, but they were twice repulsed. On the third attempt, Corporal Collier, despite heavy enemy fire of grenades and barrages, moved to an exposed position ahead of his comrades. They assaulted and destroyed the machine gun nest, killing at least 4 enemy soldiers. As he returned down a rocky, fire-swept hill and joined his squad, an enemy grenade landed in their midst. Shouting a warning to his comrades, he selfishly and unhesitatingly threw himself upon the grenade and smothered its explosion with his body. This intrepid action saved his comrades from death or injury. Corporal Collier's supreme personal bravery, consummate gallantry, and noble self-sacrifice reflect untold glory upon himself and uphold the honored traditions of the military service. I would just like to say we're honored, so honored to have Mr. Wester and the family of Mr. Collier here, but there were so many that didn't make it home. My husband's uncle is still listed as MIA in Korea. His name is Harold Boyd. I just read in the paper, or read on the internet that just recently on August 6th that another remains were identified from the Korean War, and it's a family, a veteran from West Virginia, and their family is going to have the remains returned. So let's just take a moment of silence and let's just remember those who didn't make it home and honor those also. Thank you. Today, we're very pleased to pronounce that the Postal Service has issued 2 new commemorative stamps honoring Korean War Medal of Honor recipients. One stamp shows the Navy version of the medal, and the other pictures the Army version. These stamps are presented in prestige folios, each one containing 20 stamps. Each folio has photos of the last surviving Korean War Medal recipients in a border all around the stamps. Our special guest, Mr. West, is featured. You can find his picture in the top row, second left above the stamps. We are truly honored to have him here with us today. I also want to mention when you open the portfolio, the names of all 145 Korean War Medal of Honor recipients are listed, and in that you will find Grant County's John Collier. These new stamps can be purchased today.
at the back table, or at the Greenup Post Office, or online at usgifts.com. But for today's ceremony, we have a special cancellation marking today's date with the Wortland, Kentucky postmark and Wortland zip code. So please make sure you try to get that today. So now I would like for our special guest to join me for the dedication of our Medal of Honor Korean War stamps.
My name is J.R. Reed. Most of you knew me as John. I was John Reed most of my life. I went to high school here at Wortland. Ernie used to come up and talk to the football team before games. I don't know if he had money riding on the font, but he could make sure we did our best. I've known Ernie for a long time, and he's a pretty humorous guy. Before I went to work for Congressman Nancy, I used to work for United States Congressman Jeff Davis. Now, if asked Ernie, it's okay to tell this story. He said it's fine. I'm not talking about school. Congressman Davis was in the old-fashioned day parade at Greenup. And I wanted to impress him by introducing him to Ernie. So Congressman Davis, and I walked over there where Ernie was. I think he might even be Grand Marshal, I don't know. And I introduced him. I said, Ernie, this is Congressman Jeff Davis. And Ernie said, Jeff, he said, I'm really pleased. He said, you're a West Pointer. He said, I always have respect for the West Point guys. He said, you work tremendous with veterans. He said, I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing. And Jeff said, well, Ernie, coming from you, that means a lot. He said, can I expect your vote? Ernie said, hell no, you're a Republican. The flag that I'm about to present to Ernie as former capital of the United States, Ernie, I would like to present to you this flag on behalf of the United States Congressman Thomas Massey and United States Senator Mitch McConnell. Thank you.
One more kind of presentation to make. This is from the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, who hereby recognize and honor the late Corporal John Walton Collier for the distinguished service as a vital member of the United States Army, who served his country with great valor during the Korean War, resulting in this brave man being honored posthumously on June 24, 1951 with the prestigious Medal of Honor, the military's highest honor, for personal acts of valor above and beyond the call of duty. Corporal Collier has been more recently honored by the United States Postal Service with the official unveiling of the Korean War Medal of Honor Forever Stamp, paying tribute to the 145 American Medal of Honor recipients for their extraordinary courage and patriotism in service to their country and their fellow Americans. A native of Worthington, Kentucky, Corporal Collier was chosen for the medal as a result of his heroic actions when, while engaged in an assault on a strategic ridge strongly defended by the enemy, his company encountered intense automatic weapons and grenade fire. Corporal Collier, despite enemy heavy fire and grenade barrages, moved to an exposed position ahead of his comrades and assaulted and destroyed a machine gun nest which was hampering his company's advances, killing at least 4 enemy soldiers in the process. As he returned to join his squad, an enemy grenade landed in their midst, and Corporal Collier selflessly and unhesitatingly threw himself on the grenade and smothered its explosion with his body, thereby saving his comrades from certain death or serious injury. As it is fittingly stated in his citation, Corporal Collier's supreme personal bravery, consummate gallery, and noble self-sacrifice will reflect untold glory upon himself and uphold the honored traditions of military service. Inasmuch as Corporal John Walton Collier demonstrated such extraordinary bravery and valor in his efforts to serve and protect his fellow soldiers, his country, and all citizens, the House of Representatives is deeply honored to join Representative Pullman in honoring the remarkable sacrifices that he made and extending to his family the sincere hope that they will find comfort as they continue to honor the memory of this fallen American hero. And I wish to present this to Corporal Collier's family. House of Representatives who hereby recognizes honors Ernest West for having served his country with great bravery and courage as a vital member of Company L, 114th Infantry Regiment, 25th Infantry Division, United States Army during the Korean War. For having demonstrated personal acts of valor above and beyond the call of duty, PFC West was presented with the prestigious Medal of Honor, the military's highest accolade. His Medal of Honor citation appropriately reads, PFC West's indomitable spirit, consummate valor, and intrepid actions inspired all who observed him. Inasmuch as PFC Ernest West, faithful husband of Jane West, demonstrated such stalwart bravery and valor in his efforts to serve not only the greater good of this nation, but the lives of his fellow soldiers, the members of the House of Representatives are profoundly honored to join Representative Tanya Pullen in paying well-deserved tribute to this esteemed honoree for the sacrifices he made to save American lives, and in extending best wishes to him and his proud family, including his daughter Amy, his granddaughters, and great-granddaughters, for future health, happiness, and good fortune, done in Frankfurt, the 8th day of August, the year of our Lord, 2014. One more. The organizers don't even know. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky does hereby honor and recognize the United States Postal Service and the local members of the Postal Service upon the official unveiling of this Korean Medal of Honor Forever stamp, paying well-deserved tribute to the American veterans whose courageous service in this nation's military resulted in their receiving this medal, the medal of highest honor, awarded for personal acts of valor above and beyond the call of duty. The stamps were dedicated July 26, 2014 as part of the ceremony at the Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, where 25 Medal of Honor recipients are laid to rest, including John Paul. This outstanding organization is commended for honoring these true American heroes and for bringing well-deserved attention to the sacrifices that were made by these brave soldiers as they fought to maintain peace and preserve freedom. The United States Postal Service has offered particular gratitude for having brought additional recognition to Greene County, Kentucky, the home of 2 Medal of Honor recipients who served during the Korean War. Inasmuch as U.S. Postal Service has demonstrated a laudable understanding of the profound responsibility that all Americans have to preserve the legacies of those brave individuals who have served in the United States military during wartime, the members of the House of Representatives join Representative Fuller in thanking the United States Postal Service and the local members of the service here, and extending best wishes for future success and good fortune as it continues to most ably serve the American people. Thank you all for this great ceremony. Thank you.
Postal Service would like to make some recognition and presentations. We would like to present Mr. West with a framed portrait of his stamps portfolio. And again, thank him for being here and taking part of the ceremony, and thank him so much for his service. We'd also like to issue a framed print of the Medal of Honor stamps, one for the Navy, one for the Army, to the family of John Collier, and thank him for allowing him to share his life for us. We'd like to issue another print to Kentucky Representative Connie Pullum. I spoke with Ms. Pullum for the first time a couple of weeks ago, because let me tell you, I have never, ever put on an event. And when this started, I knew what I wanted to do, knew how I wanted things to go, but I didn't realize how big it was going to get so fast. So, hopefully, I didn't leave anybody out with recognition. If I did, I'm going to apologize now. But Ms. Pullum and I had a very nice phone conversation, and I mentioned to her that through my organizing this event, that many veterans have spoken about her as being one of the top representatives of our state of supporting veterans. And that come from so many different veterans, not just one. So Ms. Pullum, I want to thank you for all you do for Kentucky veterans. We have another presentation I'd like to issue to Mr. Reed to take back to Congressman Thomas Massey. He cannot be here today, but if you'll take that to him. We also want to thank Portland's Mayor, Donna Hayes. She graciously joined us up front here, and I know she was nervous, and we want to thank her for that. Something she can thank you for. We'd also like to recognize Circuit Clerk Alan Reed. District Judge Brian McLeod. Grant County Sheriff Keith Cooper. I want to especially recognize Captain Jamie Stevens, who is a very close friend of the West family, and we appreciate him being here and for the special things that he does for Mr. West. I would like to thank Master of Gunnery Sergeant Paul Sykes in the Marine Corps and ROTC. And I would like to thank Kathy Saltzman and the Portland Middle School Choir for giving up their Saturday and only having 2 days of practice. Now, I would like to thank the Greenup County Board of Education and the Superintendent, Ms. Horsley, for allowing us to use this building. The Wortman Middle School staff, especially Assistant Principal J.D. Campbell, has been instrumental in making this happen and has been so pleasant to work with, and all the staff. And I want to say thank you very much to all of you. Before we end our program, I do want to go over a long list of thank yous just to make sure that I do get everyone, because there were so many contributed to this event. First, I have one for you, Bobby. Bobby Allen also gets one of those certificates that this is missing right now. So Bobby Allen, the Greenup County Tourism Director, he has been instrumental today getting the sound system set up. And I apologize, Bobby, but you will get one. So today we want to thank Mr. West and his family. Amy, thank you so much for your guidance and help. You've been a wonderful person to work with, and I thank you so much for sharing your father with us. I want to thank you, Paul, your family, for coming. I want to thank Wortman Middle School, Jamie Campbell, the Greenup County Board of Education, Master Gunnery Sergeant Paul Sykes, and Greenup County Marine Corps Junior ROTC, Kathy Saltzman, the Wortman Middle School Choir, Greenup Tourism Director Bobby Allen, Bud Mazzini in the Palm House, John Hensley, who has been a great friend to me and gave me a lot of military advice and taught me so much history that I should have learned when I was in school and maybe didn't. Paul Worthington and the VFW Post 1168, they donated the drinks today. Allen's Greenhouse for donating the ferns, Chick-fil-A for donating the cookies, Kroger's for donating the cookies, the Postal Service District staff, the Greenup Postal employees, many of them put a lot of time and effort on this too, but they have to carry mail today and can't see this, and they really wanted to. Marshall Howard, Rolanda Christie for coming and helping today, other postmasters. And last but not least, I couldn't have done this without my husband, Tony Thomas, so I definitely want to thank him. Thank you.
Just in closing, I'd like to leave you with some thoughts that more than 60% of the Medal of Honors awarded since the beginning of World War II have been awarded posthumously. For the Korean Medal of Honor recipients, more than 70% died in battle. We're so lucky to have one of our surviving recipients with us here today. I apologize if I have a few tears today because I'm so proud of him and the Collier family. I'd like to leave you with thanking you, Mr. West, for your service to our country. And God bless everyone that's been a part of this today. I'd like to have the Portland Middle School choir come up for the rendition of my opening. Thank you.